Somehow the holiday season is once again upon us. My wife recently asked me to make a Santa board for a cool little dude in her life, so that's what we're going to do today. I've got these two cutoffs from another project. So the first thing we're going to do is get these flat and square and get them glued up. All right, let's get this glued up. Obviously, you want to keep these boards as flat as possible so it doesn't rock or just sit uneven. All right, we'll let that sit and dry for, I don't know, a couple hours. We'll trim her down and get her set up on the CNC.
2 hours later.
All right, we're gonna get this out of the clamps and put it through the planer, flatten everything down. I'm just going to square up one edge to put against the fence on the CNC. That's it. I've got the CNC ready to go. This is actually going to be two tool paths. The first is going to be an 1/8 inch end mill to do the roughing, and then we're going to follow that up with a 45-degree V-carve bit. So let's get it going. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to paint this with a very light coat of clear epoxy. And what that's going to do is it's going to seal the wood, so when we put the colored epoxy in here, it doesn't stain the wood. What I've got here is an Amazon special craft resin, apparently is the brand. It's actually pretty darn good. It's important to get every spot that you don't want stained with epoxy. The color, the pigment will get into the wood fibers, and it's nearly impossible to sand out. Although this step with the epoxy takes longer because you have to wait for it to cure, you could use shellac or something like that, but I find that this works way better. And I really don't want to waste all this wood and time. So epoxy it is. We're going to let that dry for 12 hours or so. Then we'll be ready to fill it with the colored stuff.
12 hours later.
All right, now that the top coat has had sufficient time to dry, we're gonna mix the filling coat. So let's go ahead and get the epoxy mixed. Excellent. And now we mix. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna hit this with the torch right quick and pop all of the bubbles that have popped up. All right, I think that's gonna do it. Let that sit for at least 12 hours. Plane it down, shape it. We're just about done. Well, this thing's had about 24 hours or so to cure. I think I'm going to send it through the drum sander and remove this top layer, get rid of all the excess. So let's do that now. And now we sand. And sand, and sand, and sand some more. Now, the best part of any project, which is putting the finish on.